And on this Wednesday, July 22nd, 2026 edition of Newsmakers, New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani says the city cannot arrest Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, but the federal government should. Julie Walker reports.
New York's mayor wants to arrest Israel's leader when he comes to the city for the General Assembly in September because of an international criminal court warrant.
Benjamin Netanyahu is a war criminal.
But Mayor Mamdani admits in a video on X that's something he can't do.
It is clear that we do not have the independent legal authority to enforce this warrant. The federal government, however, does, and I call on them to join the ICC and execute this warrant. And I want to be equally clear. Benjamin Netanyahu is not welcome in New York City, nor is any other war criminal at large.
President Trump has given assurances that won't happen. The ICC, the world's top war crimes court, accuses Netanyahu of crimes against humanity in connection with the war in Gaza, charges he denies. Julie Walker, New York.
The Women's Tennis Association is introducing one-off mandatory gene testing for all players effective from Tuesday, a requirement to compete at the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics. The WTA has updated its women's eligibility policy to include gender screening based on biological sex this week to, quote, preserve the integrity of women's professional tennis and maintain fair competition conditions for all players. The new policy takes the organization in line with the eligibility policy introduced by the IOC in March to align with President Trump's executive order on sports ahead of the 2028 Olympics. 3 evangelical leaders are challenging a constitutional amendment in Switzerland that bans lawmakers in Geneva from wearing visible religious symbols. The lawsuit argues the voter-approved measure violates religious freedom and protections under the Swiss Constitution. The restriction applies to members of Geneva's parliament and municipal councils. The Swiss Evangelical Alliance says elected officials should be free to openly express their religious beliefs while representing voters. The case will be heard by the Constitutional Chamber of the Geneva Court. Chick-fil-A says accounts from its loyalty program were affected last month when unauthorized bad actors launched an automated attack. Its Chick-fil-A One program was hacked using credentials obtained from a third-party source. The sensitive information included the last 4 digits of card numbers and saved details like birthdays, email addresses, and passwords. Chick-fil-A wrote in a letter sent to customers July 20th that as soon as they learned of the breach, they forced logouts at affected accounts and removed any saved payment methods. The company also restored affected Chick-fil-A One balances and added extra rewards to customer accounts. Regardless, customers have been urged to reset passwords. An Australian mother of 4 has given birth to identical quadruplet girls. Charles de Ledesma reports.
Janita saw Nawa Moana, who is 34 years old and already has 4 children, delivered the identical quadruplet girls last week at Royal Brisbane and Women's Hospital. Dr. Alexa Bendel says the babies were naturally conceived and came from one fertilised egg that split into 4.
We first met Janita and her husband Jotham at 10 weeks gestation. We were blown away.
Bendel says that the chances of the quadruplet delivery happening are around 1 in 15 million.
It's amazing, to be honest, particularly the fact that this was spontaneously conceived. We do see multiple pregnancies more often with fertility treatments, particularly IVF. But for this to be spontaneously conceived, first of all, for the conception to happen, so one fertilised egg that then splits not once, not twice, but 3 times into 4 different babies who then share a placenta. That is just incredible.
The hospital says the mother and her babies are doing well. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
And that's Newsmakers for this Wednesday, July 22nd, 2026 edition. I'm Keith Black.